These 10 turn-based JRPGs barely got any attention, and that's just wrong. Some of these didn't even make it to my channel before, but they're all worth playing or at least checking out. So, let's get into it. First, we've got Riviera: The Promised Land, a game that refuses to stay in one place. Originally on the WonderSwan Color, then the GBA, then PSP, and now it's on Switch, Steam, and mobile. We got every version except the original. Developed by Sting Entertainment as part of their Department Heaven series, this one's different. It's part RPG, part visual novel, and part Who Will You Date simulator. You play as Ein, a grim angel trying to stop an ancient evil, all while bonding with your party members. Because why not mix high-stakes combat with romance? The art is striking, the music's decent, but the gameplay is where it shines. Movement is menu-based, no free roaming, just selecting options. And battles? You pick 4 items before a fight, and they break after multiple uses, so strategy is key. Plus, you've got positioning mechanics and an overdrive gauge for flashy skills. It's deep, challenging, and definitely not beginner-friendly. If you like your RPGs unconventional, this one's worth a shot. Next up, at number 9, Evolution Worlds. Originally 2 separate Dreamcast games, this GameCube version combines them, with some tweaks. The English voice acting is, let's just say it exists. Dungeon floors got cut down, and some cutscenes got stitched together into one long sequence. You play as Mag Launcher, yes, that's his real name, in a lighthearted, almost Saturday morning cartoon-style dungeon crawler. But don't be fooled, this is a Sting Entertainment game, and they don't do easy. No random encounters here. Enemies are visible, and you decide when to fight. Dungeons have staircases leading to the next floor, and it's up to you to explore or speedrun your way through. Combat is traditional turn-based, but character abilities add some depth. Is it better than the Dreamcast versions? Maybe. It's smoother, but the cut content stings for hardcore fans. Sliding in at number 8, Destiny of an Emperor, an NES RPG that took Romance of the Three Kingdoms and mashed it with Dragon Quest. You're a general, recruiting commanders and building an army to take down an empire. The battle system? Unique for its time. Instead of HP, your commanders lead troops and the number of soldiers acts as their health. When you attack, tiny sprite warriors charge at each other in hilarious fashion. And yes, there's auto battle, but trust me, don't use it on bosses unless you enjoy losing. For an 80s RPG, this was ahead of its time. The whole recruiting commanders to form an army thing, Suikoden would later run with that concept. If you're into retro JRPGs, this is a solid pick. At number 7, Mystic Chronicles, one of Kemco's first attempts at an old-school JRPG and arguably one of their best. Originally on PSP and later ported to PS Vita and modern platforms, this one's a love letter to 8-bit and 16-bit RPGs. You play as Lux, a small-town kid caught in a battle against some ancient evil. Classic setup, classic turn-based combat, and thankfully, not overloaded with random encounters. The twist? Each character gets a summon that fights alongside them, adding an extra layer of strategy. It looks simple, but it helped kickstart Kemco's whole budget JRPG trend. If you love old-school RPGs, give it a shot. Coming in at number 6, Glory of Heracles, a DS exclusive and the only entry from this long-running series to make it outside Japan. Written by Kazushige Nojima, the guy behind Final Fantasy VII Vate and X, it dives deep into Greek mythology. You play as an amnesiac protagonist, because of course you do, who, along with his immortal companions, roams ancient Greece searching for answers. Combat is turn-based, but magic is cast by drawing runes on the touchscreen. The accuracy of your strokes determines spell strength, making full use of the DS stylus. Sadly, that also means a modern port would be tricky. If you like Greek mythology and interactive magic systems, this one's worth your time. Halfway through at number 5, Princess Minerva, a turn-based RPG that feels like a lost relic of the 90s. Originally a manga before hitting the PC engine, SNES, and later PlayStation, this one's got a fun premise. You play as Minerva, a princess leading an all-female team to take down an evil organization. Classic combat, but positioning actually affects attack power. The humor, anime-style art, and lighthearted story make it stand out. Sadly, it never got much attention outside Japan. If you love old-school anime aesthetics in your JRPGs, this worth tracking down. At number 4, Treasure Hunter G. Before Final Fantasy Tactics and Tactics Ogre, Square experimented with strategy RPG elements in this SNES gem. Turn-based with grid-based movement, a quirky cast, and some of the best sprite work on the system. Battles are fast-paced, but require planning, and the soundtrack is top tier. The catch? It never left Japan. But fan translations exist, so if you're into tactical RPGs, don't skip this one. Cracking the top 3, Energy Breaker, another SRPG that never saw a Western release. Developed by the Lufia team, it follows Myra, a mercenary with amnesia. Shocking, I know, searching for answers. Combat blends positioning and action points, making every move count. The pixel art is gorgeous, and the story has that classic JRPG mystery feel. If you like strategy RPGs, hunt this one down. At number 2, Shadow Hearts, From the New World, the overlooked final entry in a cult favorite series. Set in an alternate 1920s America, it keeps the series' unique Judgment Ring battle system, where timing your attacks is everything. The dark horror vibes from previous games take a backseat to a more pulpy adventure, but the quirky cast and solid combat make it a hidden gem. Overshadowed by bigger PS2 RPGs, but if you missed it, now's your chance. And finally, at number 1, Baroque. Ever played a JRPG that wants you to suffer? That's Baroque in a nutshell. Originally on the Sega Saturn, then ported to PS1, PS2, and Wii, this game throws you into a constantly shifting dungeon with zero explanation. Every time you die, you learn a little more about the nightmarish world around you. It's cryptic, oppressive, and brutally difficult, but also one of the most unique RPGs out there. If you love roguelikes and psychological horror, Baroque is a must-play. And that's the list. Which of these obscure JRPGs have you played? Got any hidden gems I missed? Drop a comment below, and if you enjoyed this, hit like and subscribe for more deep dives into underrated RPGs.